On this episode of Inside the Blueprint, smart technology is changing the way we do business, especially when it comes to real estate transactions. One company, the Code Solution, is at the forefront of that change. The drone industry has seen tremendous growth in recent years. See how one company is soaring to new heights to make sure there are licensed drone pilots who can meet the demand. Ever wonder how some of the world's most unique architectural glass creations are made? Today, we'll talk to the glazing experts at Giroux Glass to better understand the process of how these structures and renovations are done. Think all insulation is created equally? We'll take a look at how an Owens Corning company is improving safety and fire protection with their thermofiber insulation. This and much more. Just because you've always done things a certain way doesn't mean it's the only way to get things done. And our friends at the Code Solution have big plans of changing the way you think when it comes to real estate development.
The reason why I think people think that real estate is overly complicated is because there is a multitude of regulations, multitude of items that the city or the authority having jurisdiction gives you on your piece of property. The Code Solution simplifies the entire development process by taking all the complicated rules out of the equation for you. For instance, if you go to the City of Los Angeles website, CMAS, you get bombarded with hundreds of rules for your property. What we try to do is we try to bring it all together, simplify it for you, and give you the maximum value of your land.
With a multitude of strategies and solutions that have been properly planned out, efficiency is always key to a successful development project. What are some of the ways the Code Solution handles these issues?
The process of development can be intimidating, and how intimidating it is, I'll give you an example. When you buy a piece of property comes with a zoning. That zoning dictates how high, how large, how many units, how many parking spaces. All those pieces have to fit into that piece of property. In order for you to get the most value of your property, you have to be able to maximize that. In order for you to maximize it, you have to apply all those pieces of the formula into a design. That design has to be somehow affordable, buildable, and financially sound in order for you to make a profit. Otherwise, there's no point of you being there. We simplify that process, and that process is Terracon. New technology will play a part in the development process by bringing all those parameters that the city gives you into one grouping, one funnel, so to speak. It condenses it. It provides you the bigger picture, so to speak. And it provides that bigger picture in order for you to be able to make a decision of, do you have a viable product? Do you have something that'll make you money? Do you have something that'll give you peace of mind at the end and knowing that what you're thinking and what you're dreaming and what you're building is reality?
As one of the Code Solution's leading partners, Terracon aims to be a one-stop real estate development portal offering every essential resource, all at your fingertips.
We started seeing this influx of the developers and investors from all over the country and all over the world. And everybody comes to Los Angeles, but they're very lost. They don't know how to develop and what to do. And so we developed this platform called Terracon as an all-encompassing platform and portal. I think the coolest function of Terracon is the Terracon analysis function, where you could take your proverbial back of the napkin and see if a project works or not. And you could do this 24/7. I think Terracon's great for any kind of developer at any kind of level. You could be a casual investor and have everything at your fingertips. You could be a very experienced developer but not have enough staff or time. Maybe you got a crazy idea at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? And you can't really text your consultant at that time. You can't really call your consultant at that time, but you can come to Terracon and you get your answers there.
Being a company that embraces technology, they're also paving the way for making smart homes and smart cities the standard for everyday life.
Very excited about TCS's approach to real estate development right now, because I feel like in the next 10 years, everybody's going to catch up to where we look at real estate development today. There's this marriage between sustainability, technology, and practicality that we bring to the table. Something that I think is very easy with regards to the information that's out there. A lot of developers and the general public don't know it's out there. We want to take this approach where we can have a safe home, a smart home. We can have cars that are parking themselves. We've got germ-free technology. We've got everything that is available today. I feel like the rest of the industry is going to catch up to in the next 10 years.
So whether you're a seasoned developer or just getting into the space, the Code Solution wants to help you and be your one-stop resource.
For the newcomer, if you don't know what you want for your property, we'll tell you how to maximize it. For the seasoned professional, if you don't have the resources, we'll make it easy for you because we'll provide that for you.
For more information about the Code Solution, visit their website at thecodesolution.com. And of course, visit our website at insidetheblueprint.com. The drone industry has completely revolutionized our everyday lives. From recreation to security and even travel. Now, with new opportunities in the field, comes a growing demand for experienced drone pilots. One company who's servicing that need for industries all across the U.S. is Drone Strategic Partners.
My name is Jason Sewer, and I'm the CEO of Drone Strategic Partners. We've been in business for 3 years now, and our main mission is to help as many people as possible through the use of drone technology, to offer solutions for individuals and for businesses, and also to provide career paths and job training for the next generation as well.
Over the last decade, we've seen the use of drones increase by leaps and bounds. What are some of the ways drone technology is now being used?
The most common civilian usage of drone technology is certainly through the real estate industry. Do real estate assessments to help real estate professionals prepare their listings, to figure out how much damage has occurred if a storm has hit, and to help contractors assess the type of property so that they can either build or rebuild structures on site. After natural disasters and catastrophic events, drone technology is very useful in helping local officials ascertain the level of damage, the severity of any impending issues, and to try to save as many lives as possible if that's the case. Drone Strategic Partners has developed a very comprehensive security program that is centered around protecting our youth, especially around schools. We clearly in this country have a problem with mass shootings, and incidents are clearly on the rise. Through the use of surveillance technology and drone technology, our comprehensive program allows us to have plainclothes individuals on site. We're not looking to have a vigilante style approach. And in the interim, we protect everyone on site from either an active shooter or any other situation that could be dangerous.
Becoming a professional drone pilot requires FAA licensing and specific training. But does everyone need to have a license to fly a drone?
The great thing about drone technology is that it has been brought to the public in a cheap and affordable way. In order to be paid for those services, one must obtain the license, and therein lies the value of passing the Part 107 exam. It's comprised of 8 different parts, swinging from weather to psychology, and to obviously learning how to operate and utilize the drone properly.
Education is key for the future of the drone industry. How does Drone Strategic Partners help to ensure that aspiring drone pilots have the knowledge and resources to successfully enter the field?
Kids love flying drones. They love flying drones for a bunch of different reasons. We've developed a curriculum centered around drone economics. We show these students that they can make money in various industries where the technology is already prevalent. Real estate, insurance, construction. Over 60% of all deliveries in this country by the year 2030 will be via drone technology. Pizzas, deodorant, soap, everything, video games will all be delivered by drone.
So if you're in need of expert drone solutions across the U.S., give the professional drone pilots of Drone Strategic Partners a call.
For those who are looking to find out more information about this industry, or maybe even to enter the industry, I highly recommend it. It's fun, it's exciting, and it's pioneering into a new future that will benefit us all.
For more information about Drone Strategic Partners, visit their website at dronestrategicpartners.com. And of course, visit our website at InsideTheBlueprint.com. Most of us admire the beauty of glass, and we often consider glass to be the finishing touch. The complexity involved in installing the glass, otherwise known as glazing, is perhaps less understood. Today, we're talking to the experts at Giroux Glass to get a closer look at what actually goes into the glazing process.
Giroux Glass was founded in 1946. Up until 1991, we only had 9 employees operating in the surrounding area around downtown Los Angeles. Today, we have 6 offices operating out of 3 different states, and we became 100% employee-owned in 2017. We handle projects from the design phase all the way through the completion of large contracts. In between, we do service-type work, tenant improvements, high-end luxury homes, and so forth. We also fabricate and install panel systems. We also do handrails, shower enclosures, custom mirror work, and more.
You've handled glazing projects ranging from hospitals to commercial buildings to exclusive landmarks and every hotel on the Las Vegas Strip. Given your wide range of projects, which types of projects are your most challenging?
Some of the challenges that we encounter when handling remodel work is being able to keep the aesthetics of a building that was built maybe 50 years ago. Also, when we demolish some of the projects, once that demolition starts and we unveil what's behind the scenes, a lot has happened through the years.
The Pacific Life project is a project we did here in Fashion Island, Newport Beach, that was originally completed in 1972. And some of the challenges with that was to take the old system out that had a outward inverted wall and put in a new system that would make it end up looking like the building that it originally was back when it was brand new in 1972. Some of the other things we had to deal with is as we demoed the window system, we exposed some hazardous material that needed to be abated before we could complete our window system.
In our industry, we've seen the big jumbo glass. We've seen unique things bringing the outside world inside. But I strongly believe the going green, we're barely touching on that. The ability to make our buildings sustainable is key, especially as the generations change and we have the older folks retiring and the new ones coming in. It's important that we make a difference and maintain our environment.
Training is also a huge concern in this industry. What are some of the training initiatives that set Giroux Glass apart from other glazing companies?
Some of the procedures that Giroux Glass uses to keep our employees safe is not only the continuous training that is provided by the union, but also by Giroux Glass, in which we provide training in quality, safety, and the products that we install to keep our installers by far at the forefront of our industry. It is very important to use well-trained and experienced glaziers, because without them, we'd never have the labor to be able to use the cranes, forklifts, and any and all equipment that is necessary to install our window systems along with our window systems. But not only that, but foremost amongst all that's most important is the coordination of not only between the other trades and general contractors, but also the coordination amongst ourselves within our own company.
So if you have a challenging project that requires the expertise of seasoned professionals or need help with the design or materials to bring your architectural vision to life, trust the glazing experts at Giroux Glass.
The most unique thing about Giroux is truly the people. I mean, it's really fun to have a team of people. We tend to attract those that are entrepreneurial, spirited, and hungry to take on challenges. But to be able to say that you're 100% employee owned and have that ability to have people come in owning their work and delivering and taking such pride is truly something that's remarkably fun at Giroux.
For more information about Giroux Glass, visit their website at girouxglass.com. And of course, visit our website at insidetheblueprint.com. Where does innovation come from? More often than not, it stems from a need or a problem that requires a solution. This is what inspires the engineers, technicians, and research scientists at Owens Corning. Owens Corning is not only a world leader in insulation, they've taken it to a whole new level altogether. Insulation used to be thought of as just a way to keep in and/or keep out heat and cold. But the folks at Owens Corning have been developing and manufacturing some of the most dynamic and functional insulation in the biz. Now, when talking about insulation, you should include descriptors like acoustics and fire resistance. In a business where innovation is the name of the game, Owens Corning isn't afraid to push the envelope to stay ahead of the competition.
Today, Owens Corning consists of three businesses: our roofing business, our insulation business, and our glass fiber reinforcements business, all really founded on the basis of glass fiber, the invention back in 1938. And then after the post-war boom in construction of single-family homes, the insulation business really started to take off. Residential construction is probably where we're most famous, with our iconic pink insulation that was introduced as early as 1950s. In 2013, we bought into a business, we acquired a business called Thermofiber, which is a mineral wool product. So actually it's made of waste material from steel manufacturing, but it melts at a much higher temperature, and so it's very, very good at both its thermal performance, but also its fire resistive properties.
Angie is a technical services leader with Owens Corning, who develops fire control systems using mineral wool as insulation.
Owens Corning Thermofiber pioneered the first perimeter fire containment system. And we designed these life safety systems around our mineral wool insulation products. And so it's systems like this that we install in some of the high-rise buildings like One World Trade Center. So a perimeter fire containment system is constructed primarily out of mineral wool insulation. And really the mineral wool insulation is the workhorse behind the assembly, just because it can resist very high temperatures for a very long period of time. We have containment systems that offer protection up to 3 hours, so that it allows more time in a building for people to evacuate safely. Over here we have a representation of a curtain wall in an exterior high-rise building. We see the Thermofiber Owens Corning mineral wool insulation is covering and protecting a portion of that exterior wall. The critical part of the assembly, though, is really the barrier. And this is where you have a joint between the floor slab and the exterior curtain wall. Now imagine if you did not fill that void with any material, fire would have a free path to spread from floor to floor.
Today we're using the Astm E90 Steiner tunnel to assess the surface burning characteristics of our mineral wool insulation. So in the E84 tunnel test, the sample is top loaded in a ceiling orientation so that when the flames come up, they hit the bottom of the sample, just like on every sample, even comparison samples. From there, it depends on what the product is made of. We'll then determine how far down the flame front travels down the surface of the material. These are the results from the Astm E84 Steiner tunnel test. We get a flame spread index and a smoke developed index, and those help us meet the codes.
This particular apparatus is the E119 small scale quarter wall test. So basically this is a wall furnace, and this would be our mock curtain wall insulated with the mineral wool insulation, and we would have a window opening here on the full scale test. We'll fill this room with fire. and we'll get to temperatures well above 1800 degrees Fahrenheit to demonstrate the fire-resistive performance of the wall system itself.
Owens Corning's thermofiber insulation is not only flame resistant, but it also has noise reduction capabilities.
I'm Corey Taylor. I'm the technical lead for the Acoustic Research Center. This is where we design, develop, and evaluate the acoustic performance of our material. So we're going to be running our Astm E90 test, and this evaluates the sound performance from room to room. The only way sound energy is going to get from our source room to our receive room is through the wall partition that we have in place. So we're going to start this test, and what we're actually measuring is the sound pressure levels over time. So these are the levels of our source room, and here we can see that we are about 95, 97 decibels in our source room. And if we look at the receive chamber, the levels in there are around 60 decibels, just a little under. So what that tells us is that the wall that we have in place is mitigating approximately 30 decibels of sound at this one particular frequency.
We focus very deeply on the overall performance of the building. So not just from a thermal standpoint as when people think about insulation, but also acoustics, life safety, and then the overall performance of the building through a building science outlook, moisture protection, air infiltration. So many of these things we design into our products. It's not just about insulating a home thermally against cold or against heat, but also the performance of the building as a whole. Acoustics, fire, how it interacts with other systems in the building. And that means we just have to be experts in the building science.
Launched in 2000 in Gardena, California, a small company dedicated to the idea of environmentally conscious, sustainable production of lighting products, Visionaire Lighting quickly expanded in both reputation and size.
From the beginning, we started doing smaller scale jobs, everything from parks to sports facilities, and then got into automotive lighting. And as the company grew, we got into more large scale projects like smart cities and street lighting.
Fred, the president and owner of our company, was also involved in tennis, and so they wanted to start doing tennis lighting. And so we initially started by lighting tennis courts with HID, or high intensity discharge lamps.
Our company initially started with just assembling products, and over the years, we brought more and more processes in-house. Now today, we are a completely vertically integrated company who manufactures all of its different components here in our facility.
The advent of commercially viable solid-state, or LED lighting, was the first significant change in the industry in over 100 years.
The new technology that Visionaire has and why it's going to make us stand out is because an open platform, it's a single pane of glass. Currently, in today's lighting market, if I am with a university or if I'm with a city, I want to be able to control my lights, I want to be able to control my parking sensors, my oxygen sensors, any kind of thing, and any time I want to do that, I have to do that on a separate login, a separate program. What's unique to Visionaire is we're an open protocol, which means we have different devices from different manufacturers that we could bring in and all operate on our own user interface.
Because solid-state lighting was essentially a small computer, it enabled other connected devices to interface with lighting for the first time at this level. This was the birth of smart lighting.
The technology that I developed was a platform, a very agnostic, unique platform where we could have multiple softwares on one pane of glass. So I could actually take it to where I could bring in 3 or 4 different types of software, bring it into one, and be able to visualize everything on a single pane of glass.
In the light fixtures there's a real estate. There's a platform inside there which allows that. The light itself's not detecting that movement, but there would be a computer or brain chip that's inside that platform that allows you to be able to signal what's going on based on the camera.
Visionaire manufactures its own printed circuit boards in-house in its surface mount technology or SMT facility. Each board is individually tested and analyzed for quality. This ensures the elevated level of product quality and longevity.
We have robots doing injection molding, making the optics for our LED fixtures. We have a SMT room, which is surface mount technology, which will pick an LED off of a reel and place it onto our printed circuit board. We have a pattern shop for sandcast and for die cast.
Just like the smartphone's evolution over the years, Pangea Link technology will integrate with applications we haven't even imagined yet. There's a street light almost every place you look, which can support this technology in the future.
When you talk about the future and the application, it's really unlimited, and it's allowed us to continue to keep desiring the city's wants and needs and learning them as they're learning them at the same time.
The great thing about our technology is it's really future-proof. Because we are an open-ended platform, that means that whatever you have currently today, if you're happy with it, that's great, but if you realize you have a need and you need to incorporate something else into that system, you could do that in the future. So if you want to bring cameras onto it, if you want to bring smart water meters onto it, you're allowed to do that in the future because it's an open-ended platform.
The future for Visionaire is actually very, very bright. We're really developing things today and future-proofing our fixtures to where people can actually have access to this stuff 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. As you know, software never stops. It's always an evolving thing. So in some cases, we know where we are today, but it could change in 24 months. It could be a totally different technology. So we're trying to stay on the cutting edge of that.
For more information about this new technology, please visit visionairelighting.com. Thanks for watching Inside the Blueprint. For more information on any of the products you saw today, or to find out how to become part of the show, please visit InsideTheBlueprint.com.